What's up guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon video, and today I'm going to be just going over a brief little concept I sort of just came to my mind, and I thought it would be pretty cool if it was actually sort of integrated into the plot of the game. And this is concerning the three blonde-haired, green-eyed characters, which of course we have Lusamine, Gladion and Lily. Who knows if they're related? They likely are, but we'll see as we go on. Maybe it's an Ultra Beast thing, maybe it's something completely different, but we're going to assume for the sort of the purposes of this video that they are related in some genetic way, family way. So what does that mean? Why am I talking about this? Well, I'm going to take you back to Pokemon X and Y, and you remember we had this character AZ in the Kalos region, and ended up sort of turning out that AZ used to be the king of the Kalos region. He was the king of the royal family 3,000 years ago, and once sort of he blew everything up, he sort of just went on a Roman journey, and who knows exactly what happened to the royal family after that, whether they the bloodline ended, so they were taken over by a new family, or something along those lines. Of course, we had the Parfum Palace, which is still around, so who knows if that's exactly sort of still the royal family or just people exactly. But I thought it was a really cool concept that the royal family was sort of finally brought up. I think we might have had mentions to it in previous games, particularly in Unova, but Kalos was the first time it was actually built in, because of course we ended up getting to meet AZ, and he was actually woven into a few different storylines across the media. And then I'm going to bring you to the Alola region. Now, we actually know that there is a royal family in the Alola region. There was a royal family at least. This is thanks to Alola Meowth, because in its little blurb, sort of Pokedex description we have on the sort of the website from online, we're told that Meowth obviously didn't originally live in the Alola region, and they were sent to the royal line, the royal family, as an offering, and only a select few could have them as partners. And then we're told they were offered to the royal family. They lived a life of luxury and pampering, which led them to have a selfish and prideful attitude, and hence why it ended up changing form and changing type and such. The once rare Alola Meowth became feral when the monarchy was actually destroyed, and they've now become a regular Pokemon basically. But we know there was a royal family in the Alola region at one point, and we don't know how long that was ago that was. We can assume it was a fair amount of time since the Alola Meowth has actually spread its paws across the region, or at least across one of the islands, who knows, but we know there was one there. Which brings us back to Gladion, Lusamine and Lily, and the thought I had that would be actually, I think, in my opinion, really quite a funky concept, or a funky little thing to build in to the plotline, is that these three are the final descendants of the Alolan royal family. Now, as we mentioned, they could well be related because of the blonde hair and the green eyes. That would make sense. And they are sort of separated. They're not together as a family as you'd expect them to be. Gladion is working for Team Skull, it would seem. Lusamine is obviously the president of the Foundation, and Lily is just off on her own. So there's the possibility that these three are the long-lost children of the Alolan royal family. I'm harkening over to Game of Thrones here, thinking about the Targaryens. If you guys have watched Game of Thrones, and of course you know what I'm talking about, or read the books, of course, the Targaryens. They were a royal family, and very powerful family, but they ended up getting destroyed in a war, basically. Spoilers, of course. And the two children left over were they were taken away. So maybe the royal family of the Alola region ended up collapsing because of some sort of war, so the remaining children of the family were sort of scattered. Not saying these three are the children that were scattered during the war. There might have been one or two children, but they ended up and obviously it might be a case of, if people knew possibly that these guys were, this is a bit of a dark story here, if they knew they were the descendants of the family, they might end up killing them, who knows. But because they're scattered, I don't know, they could easily build in to say, oh yeah, they know each other, they know of each other, but they just split paths when they were younger. Or another idea could be that they don't know about each other, and they simply are just out on their own. They were adopted, sort of thing. Lusamine rose up to become the president of the Foundation. Gladion's life wasn't as good, so he turned to choose Team Skull. And Lily, well, Lily is Lily. We don't know anything about Lily at the moment. That's one possibility I see in my eyes. I think it'd be really cool to build it in, because obviously we had the the AZ line in X and Y, sort of the plot. And to build it into this would be pretty interesting, especially if we see AZ in this game as well. I feel like it'd be really sort of interesting, sort of dynamic to build it in, and maybe he's the one that reveals that they're actually the descendants of the royal family and they're all related, sort of thing. He could say, reference, that maybe not explicitly say it, but reference the blonde, golden hair of the Alolan royal family and the green eyes, sort of thing, and build it in that way. It's just an idea I had when I was sort of brainstorming stuff, and I thought it was pretty funky, so I'd like to know what you think. Do you think it's possible they could build this in and have these three be the members of the royal family, because of course they have blonde hair and green eyes. As we mentioned in the video talking about if they're related or not, it's actually a very rare trait. So possibly the royal family, as I mentioned, might have had the golden hair and the green eyes that these three have. So maybe that was the reason they were so powerful and a way to separate them from the peasants, basically. Let me know what you think about this design though, because I'm really interested. It's just a little thought, nothing concrete at all. Just thought I'd throw the idea out there. Let me know if you sort of like the idea below, and let me know how they can build it into the actual plot line of the story of Sun and Moon, of course. But for now, this is going to be it for me for today. So if you enjoyed this little idea, be sure to hit the like button as well. But for now, this is going to be it for me for today. I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.